Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, I'm Stephanie with Yarn Ball Handmade Goods. In today's video, I am spilling the tea on 5 crochet flops that totally did not go as planned. Some of these are pretty funny, honestly. Some of them are a little painful, but mostly it's nothing too serious. It's just little things here and there that I have done before that I kind of want to point out and potentially help you not make the same mistakes I did at one point. But all in all, it helped me become a better crocheter, and that's all that matters. If you've ever had a project go from almost perfect to a little bit of a disaster, then you're in the right place. So let's jump right in. So the first item that I have here was one of my first attempts at 1, writing a pattern, and 2, making a bucket hat. It really did not come out like a bucket hat, unfortunately. Let me just show it to you. So here's my little hat. It kind of came out more like a little bonnet. It looks like it should be called a bonnet. I don't know. It's just so ruffly, which is cute, but that's totally not what I was going for. The way that I constructed it though, I was just doing increasing rounds. I really wasn't trying it on as I went. I would maybe just like place it on top of my head and be like, yeah, that's good. But I wasn't really paying attention to how many times I increased, and when I was done, it actually was just kind of draping over my head. It didn't fit my specific head at all. So what I wound up having to do to try to salvage it was I weaved a piece of yarn in and out around the brim and kind of like cinched it and hoped for the best. Let's try it on, shall we? I mean, like, it's fine. It's a cute hat, right? But I just wasn't going for like the Mary Poppins vibe, you know? I was going for like, oh, cool bucket hat, pretty stylish. You know, we got this instead. And that's okay. This is a good little like hat to wear on the beach, I guess. But if I would have to say something, if you're starting to make hats and diving into bucket hats and all of that, just really think about like trying it on throughout and making it nice and fitting to your specific head size. Don't just wing it like I did, because then you wind up with a very ruffly hat and not a bucket hat. But I want to know what you guys think. Is this a yay or a nay? Let me know. Item number 2 that I have here, it's actually pretty funny. This is probably one of the first crochet bags that I made. I definitely remember it being probably my, I don't know, maybe 3rd or 4th project. It might have actually been the 3rd bag I think I ever crocheted, because I think my first couple bags I started out just doing like a bag made out of just double crochets, just kind of getting like used to using different tensions and finding my specific tension and way of crocheting. Here is the bag. I mean, looking at it, you think like, no, it's fine. Like, what's wrong with it? So, I mean, I feel like as a crocheter, I would 100% notice this. And if you also are a crocheter, you would too, just from looking at it. But the granny squares on this side are fine. If you turn it around, the granny squares are backwards. I sewed one side of all the granny squares on completely backwards. So the wrong sides were facing out. You can tell, like, look how this one looks, and then look how this one looks. It's more like kind of bulging out here. It's the backs of the stitches, the back of the sewing. It just, I didn't do it right. I have a little tail sticking out there, that's okay. Even the seam, this is the back of the seam, because I sewed all 4 squares together first, and then I connected them with the strap when I sewed the strap on. So you can see, like, this side, you can see the seam. It's the front of the seam. This side, back of the seam. Back of the granny square, back of everything. So, I mean, you know, that's okay. That's why we live and we learn. Now I pay attention to those things. Before I start sewing, I make sure the right sides are facing out. and both sides look exactly the same. I learned from this mistake because I was very upset when my probably first granny square bag, half of it was backwards. So if you're just starting out, you're starting to sew, definitely pay attention to what direction everything is facing and double check it before you sew. Learn from my mistakes. But I'll still try it on for you because why not? Aww, my first bag. Well, my first granny square bag. Okay, so the third item here is also a granny square bag, but it's more in like a bum bag style, I guess you could say. I think that's what the cool kids call it. I was really excited to try this neon yarn that I bought. I thought it was super fun and playful and just eye-catching for the summertime. So I was like, ooh, I want to step it up a notch and add like nice rings to it, to the strap, to make it more sturdy. It looks good with some hardware on it. I just thought I was like leveling up. And then I attached the rings and I was like, I don't know, they just don't look right. They don't look like how I've seen in some other pictures. And I realized they were like just way too thin. Way too thin. Let me put my hand here. It's a little hard to tell. I mean, you could see how thin like that is. It's just not sturdy at all. I feel like I could honestly just rip it apart if I went like that. Where normally I would use like a D-ring like this that's definitely way thicker, or I really love using these brass rings. They're just way thicker. Like, let me compare them for you. So like, look at the thickness of those. I mean, it just totally, they don't compare. Sturdy, not sturdy. Sturdy, not sturdy. Don't use this one. Use this one. But again, I learned my lesson when I put the bag on. Lining it would definitely help with the sturdiness. This was pre me knowing how to line a bag, so I thought adding these rings would make it sturdy, which usually it does if they're not paper thin. But now it's stuck in there. I'm not cutting that out and re-sewing it or anything like that. It just is what it is for me at this point. I used it as a learning experience, and I will definitely check the thickness of rings when I order them from now on, and I will not make the mistake of using a tiny little thin ring for extra sturdiness because it just doesn't work. But I'll try this one on for you still as well. See, like, that's an adorable bag for the summertime. It's so bright, looks really cute, but unfortunately it stretches way too much. But I still love the bag. I don't know, maybe someday I'll mess with it and try to replace the rings. Okay, so item number 4 is actually an item that I really love, and I actually did talk about it in a previous video on my channel before, but I did make one mistake. Mrs. Nars says hi, by the way, if you heard her meow. I did make one mistake that, you know, looking back, I wish I was just more patient and took the time to not do what I did. So it's this 3-panel vest that I have. Again, it's very cute. I love it, and I'm very happy with it. I love wearing it. But when I was sewing it together, I decided it'd be a good idea to just use green yarn all the way throughout sewing it. So as you can see here, you can see the green peeking through the seam in all the colors that aren't green. And me just being a little OCD, I don't like that. I usually like to alternate colors when I have different colors of yarn because I want it to blend in seamlessly, and I'm just not happy that I did that and that you can see this green poking through. Again, it's not a major issue or anything, but it definitely was a fail for me because I feel like I had this really nice vest and this beautiful project, but then I had this one flaw that, I don't know, it really just bothers me to see that. If you are doing a multicolored project, if it doesn't bother you, that's fine. Then sew with one color, I don't care. But if you're like me and that kind of visual thing does kind of bother you a little bit, just take the extra time to switch yarn and sew it together the right way with the different colors of yarn, because in the end, in the long run, you're gonna be happy that you took the time to switch colors when it all blends really beautifully and the seam is less visible. So let's try it on. Again, super cute. I do love this vest, but this, really not a huge deal, but I mean, just like here and here, I don't know, it just bothers me, you know? But other than that, I do love this vest, and I'll still wear it, I don't care. But I just wanted to share it with you so that you don't do what I did. Okay, so item number 5 is another cardigan, but I absolutely do love this cardigan. I love the design of it and everything like that. It was just like a freehand cardigan that I made. I didn't follow a pattern or anything. And this is actually good because I can show you basically how much better, at least to me, it looks to alternate colors when sewing, because I did that for this cardigan. So here's the cardigan. Again, I love it. Super happy with how it came out. I love the colors, and you can see in, oh, where is it? In the seam here, I took the time to alternate colors when I was sewing, and like, just look how much better that comes out, honestly. But again, it's like, look at this seam with the green and it kind of looks messy. And then look at this seam where you can barely even tell there's a seam. It's like, do you want this or do you want that? Personally, I think I want that. So that's what I've corrected. I've learned from my mistakes and I corrected the seam. Now, looking at the cardigan, you don't think there's anything wrong with it. It looks fine, right? I mean, that's what I would think. But the problem comes when you try the cardigan on. I made the sleeve way too long. And for some people, that's like a style, they like that. For me personally, I don't like when the sleeves are going past my hands, and that's my own fault. I did not try this on as much as I should have when I was making this cardigan. I just was more concerned about completing the pattern to match up with the other part of the cardigan. So my takeaway from this is, if you are making a wearable item like a cardigan and you want to be able to enjoy it, definitely try it on as you go. Don't be so concerned with your pattern if it's going to affect the wearability of the item, because I do love this cardigan and I do love wearing it, but I get annoyed with it because my hands are covered by the sleeve because I didn't take the time to like properly measure everything. I was just too concerned with getting all the colors in. So that's my little takeaway for that. But let me try it on for you. Okay, so here is the cardigan. Like, they're so long. My hands don't come out. I have to like go like that. And then like, they kind of fall over my hands, like, which is cute. Like, this looks cute. Trust me, I think it does. But like, if I just put my hands down, they're gone. Like, there's nothing. To me, it's just not that comfortable to have my hands like constantly covered like this. I do think if you're just chilling at home and like, it's just, you know, it's definitely a cardigan that you're like warm, cozy, wrapped up in, you know, and like, I do think the baggy, puffy, oversized sleeve is really cute. I do like that, but like, again, that's not for me. That life is not for me. You know, I need to have access to my hands and like not constantly have the sleeve going like this when I put my hands down and then having to go like this. I don't know, just me personally, I'm like, it definitely annoys me. So my recommendation is measure your sleeves as you're making your cardigan, right? Mrs. Nars says, measure your sleeves while you're making your cardigan. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Yeah. So those were my top 5 crochet flops. Honestly, none of them are too bad. I think it was just more of a learning experience for me. They're just kind of those little nitpicky things that can really make or break a project, honestly. Sometimes all it takes is this to make you not want to wear something that you worked really hard on. Let me know in the comments below which one made you laugh or cry the most. And if you've had your own crochet fail, let me know in the comments below. We can all definitely relate. If you enjoyed this video, definitely like, comment, and subscribe, and also hit that little notification bell so you don't miss any more tutorial or fun videos with me next week. I've got something way cuter and hopefully less flopped coming your way next. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, even the best of the crocheters out there all started somewhere, all made mistakes, and all you can do is just learn from them, have fun, and happy crocheting. I'll see you next time. Bye!